Hey fight fans, let's break down a thrilling middleweight main event headlines UFC Fight Night as Dolidze takes on the relentless Anthony Hernandez. Both fighters are known for their aggressive styles and finishing abilities, promising an action-packed showdown that could have major implications for the division rankings. Dolidze holds the record 14-2-2, a powerful Georgian middleweight with a versatile game. Dolidze is known for his unorthodox grappling, devastating ground and pound, and heavy striking. He will face Anthony Hernandez. He has 15 wins and 3 losses. Hernandez is one of the most relentless fighters in the division, known for his cardio, constant pressure and slick submission game. Let's find out who holds the edge on different aspects using 10-point mass system. Striking, Dolidze is more strike-oriented fighter, using his reach and power effectively at range. Hernandez can be hittable on entries, while Dolidze works primarily from stand-up as cleaner distance striking. 10-9 Dolidze. Wrestling. Hernandez's chain wrestling and pressure-based approach give him the clear advantage in takedowns and top control. Dolidze is strong in defensive wrestling but prefers to keep it standing. 10-9 Hernandez. Jiu-Jitsu. While Dolidze is competent on the ground, Hernandez has more fluid transitions and proven submission ability under pressure. 10-9 Hernandez. Stamina. Hernandez can push a brutal pace over 3 or 5 rounds, while Dolidze is explosive early, but has shown signs of slowing when forced to constantly defend scrambles and pressure. 10-9 Hernandez. Chin. Dolidze has demonstrated strong durability and the ability to absorb heavy shots without breaking rhythm. Hernandez is tough but has been finished before, when overwhelmed. 10-9 Dolidze. KO power. Dolidze has legitimate one-punch knockout power, whereas Hernandez generally breaks opponents down with volume and pressure rather than single-shot finishes. 10-9 Dolidze. Height and reach. Slight physical advantages in height and reach favor Dolidze. 10-9 Dolidze. Experience. Dolidze has faced more top-tier opposition and shown success at a higher competitive level. 10-9 Dolidze. Final scorecard. Dolidze 77, Hernandez 75. This fight is a clear striker versus grappler matchup. Dolidze prefers a striking-heavy approach with real finishing power, while Hernandez thrives in high-paced grappling and positional control. If Dolidze can keep the fight standing and manage his cardio, he holds knockout potential. Hernandez, on the other hand, needs to turn this into a grueling clinch and ground battle to neutralize Dolidze's power. Now let's analyze possible fight outcomes from least to most likely. Hernandez wins by KO or TKO, 5%. Hernandez typically wins through attrition rather than one-punch power. A stoppage is only likely if he wears Dolidze down and lands heavy ground and pound, but a clean standing KO is very unlikely. Dolidze wins by submission, 7%. Dolidze is dangerous in grappling transition and can attack with unorthodox submissions. However, Hernandez has solid submission defense and rarely leaves openings, making a tap-out win possible but unlikely. Hernandez wins by submission, 18%. This remains Hernandez's most likely finishing scenario. His relentless wrestling and chain grappling can overwhelm tired opponents. If Dolidze slows down or gets stuck on his back, Hernandez has the skills to find a choke or joint lock. Dolidze wins by KO or TKO, 20%. While Dolidze has power and can hurt opponents with counters and clinch strikes, a clean knockout is relatively uncommon for him. Hernandez is extremely durable and hasn't been knocked out in over 5 years, making this outcome less likely than initially expected. Hernandez wins by decision, 20%. With constant pressure, clinch control and smart defensive grappling, Hernandez can win on points if he avoids taking big damage. This is a realistic scenario, especially if he can make the fight ugly and high-paced. And my prediction, Dolidze wins by decision, 30%. If Dolidze can keep the fight standing and defend enough takedowns, he can control range, land the bigger shots, and edge out rounds on the scorecards. This becomes one of his most realistic paths to victory. Final note, the most likely outcomes are Dolidze by decision or Hernandez by submission, with pure knockouts being less probable given both fighters' toughness and defensive skills. This fight has a solid chance to reach a scorecards, if neither man gets caught early. Now let's make game plans for both fighters. How Anthony Hernandez can win. First, close distance and imitate clinches early. Hernandez's best weapon is relentless pressure. He should immediately test Dolidze's takedown defense by chaining takedown attempts and forcing scrambles. Second, push a furious pace to test Dolidze's gas tank. Hernandez's cardio's advantage is significant. A high volume and clinch-heavy approach will drain Dolidze's power and explosiveness by the second round. Third, force grappling exchanges on defense. Using cage pressure, Hernandez can neutralize Dolidze's striking power while working knees, trips, and mat returns to accumulate control time. Fourth, look for submissions opportunities in transitions. If Dolidze defends initial takedowns, Hernandez should threaten with front chokes or back takes during scrambles. Catching Dolidze while he's standing up or turning away offers his best submission opportunities. 5. Stay defensively responsive in striking. Hernandez must avoid extended striking exchanges in the open, where Dolidze's power edge is most dangerous. Keeping a high guard and angling off after combinations will limit damage. Hernandez wins if he turns the fight into grind, chains wrestling into constant scrambles, and forces Dolidze to fight off his back foot and under constant fatigue. How Roman Dolidze can win. First, establish distance and striking rhythm early. Dolidze needs to keep the fight at striking range, using his reach advantage and heavy kicks to make Hernandez work harder to close distance. Early control of range will set the tone. Second, punish takedown attempts with counters. Hernandez thrives on chain wrestling. Dolidze should use uppercuts, knees, and short hooks as Hernandez changes level, forcing him to hesitate on entries. Third, stay patient. Look for big moments. Dolidze doesn't need to chase a knockout, but should focus on landing the heavier, cleaner shots to sway judges and slow Hernandez's forward pressure. Fourth, manage scrambles intelligently. If taken down, Dolidze must avoid giving up his back and instead use defense to stand, creating space to reset in striking range. His scrambling ability and leg lock threats can deter Hernandez from reckless ground attacks. 5. Keep output steady through 5 rounds. Cardio will be key. Dolidze should pace himself, conserving energy early and gradually increasing output once Hernandez begins to slow from failed takedowns. Dolidze wins if he keeps the fight standing, punishes takedown attempts, and lands the cleaner, more impactful shots over time. Who takes the win? Drop your pick on the comments and don't forget to subscribe.